I always try and know exactly what we're talking about before we go into these segments. Let's welcome Barret Edelstein back.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm good.
My friend, I have no idea what we're about to talk about. So I'm going to tell you listening and you about to talk that I'm in your hands.
Yes. So when I first started doing interviews for, as we know, before Celeb Savant, I was a contributor on that 80s show. One of the first top 5 artists that on my list that I started reaching out to interview was Dame Olivia Newton-John. And Mike Caprio, who was a publicist, responded and saying, she's not well, contact him in 2-3 months' time, which I did consistently up until I believe she passed on the 8th or 9th of August in 2023. 25, yes. Yeah. 2023.
Yeah.
So my history with Olivia Newton-John is that when I was a child, when I say child, 2 or 3 years old, I couldn't fall asleep unless I had my record player playing. And it wasn't any of the kid stuff. It was ABBA, Boney M, the Grease soundtrack, and the Xanadu soundtrack. In fact, if I remember correctly, one of the first movies I saw on screen was Grease, and one of the first albums I got as a child was a Grease soundtrack as well.
Such a cool story.
And for me, when I heard she had passed, because she always put me to sleep. Her voice always put me to sleep many nights as a child. I was crying. I was listening to music and I was sobbing. And that doesn't really happen to me when one of my favorite artists passes away, because sort of there's a connection, but not that deep. So I was very upset because I wanted to speak to and interview Dame Olivia. And I thought to myself, you know what? Let's look at another way. And I reached out to Michael Caprio, her publicist, and I said, listen, how about you and I chat as a tribute to her? So hers was, I've done a couple. Hers was the first tribute to an artist interview that I've done. And this little clip is Michael explaining how he made inroads to become her publicist. Let's take a listen.
We were at the Grease premiere, the 20th anniversary, and Olivia was being pulled every direction you could possibly imagine.
Shame, yeah.
And I stood there with Dee Dee, and the whole cast was there except for Travolta. And it turned into one of those, Dee Dee, she's getting pulled everywhere. Can I go rescue her? And Dee Dee said, oh, honey, please. And I ran over, I grabbed Olivia, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Olivia needs to do one more interview. Can I please I'll bring her back, I promise. And
yeah.
I opened this door. We walked out. We were at the Hollywood Palladium. That's where the party was. And the door closed, and we were standing to one side is the door to the kitchen, and to the other side was a giant garbage dumpster. And
Yes.
Olivia looked at me like I kidnapped her or something. She's like, what are we doing out here? I said, you look like you needed saving.
What a cool story.
So as you'll have to listen to the full interview, and as a note, a few days later, he got a voice message on her, on his machine saying, I loved our connection. Would you be interested in being my publicist? From Olivia to him. And in the interview, there's so many beautiful stories about them performing at Mardi Gras in Sydney and all these behind the scenes stories. At the end of the interview, we were both nearly bursting into tears.
Yeah.
We had to stop because we were both very emotional.
I mean, on the podcast, which I haven't heard the full thing, do you actually talk to him about the story that you've just told us about falling asleep to all of her music?
Yes. That I think I do. I can't remember, but I think yes, we spoke about that.
And did he give you insight as to the lady behind the voice?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
He said, before, whenever she always went to the hospitals. And one of the clips or things he spoke about is that his mom passed from cancer. And Olivia always went to the kids and to the cancer wards and should go to every single person and speak to every single person. And he couldn't deal with it after his mom passed away as much. So he would waste outside and they would have limited time. But Olivia would always say, no, I need to speak to this person. And also he mentioned that Sydney Mardi Gras, after the performance, there were a bunch of people there and she was signing, and she said out loud, has everyone got their pictures? Has everyone had their time with me? Has everyone got their photos? If you haven't, please let's do it now. I want to finish my connection. So the stories, and she sounded amazing. So a beautiful story behind a brilliant artist.
Well, you've painted a picture for us to all go and listen to the full podcast and the interview. Her publicist, not Olivia Newton-John, but her publicist, speaking about his connection with her, which was clearly a special one.
Yeah.
And her beautiful life and the tribute that he pays to her. It's up at nova.com.na. Click on to the blog section. Go and listen to the full interview with him and Barret talking about Dame Olivia Newton-John. Find Barret on all the social medias at Celeb Savant, except X, because I still don't know why.
Just because.
Okay, there we go. And we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.